Hey everybody, it is Eric Lukas with GG Homes here in San Diego, your favorite local real estate investor. And I wanted to do something a bit different today. I wanted to talk about my first real estate deal and also how I got into real estate. And I was hoping below that maybe you could comment and tell me about your first real estate deal and or tell me how you got into real estate as well. And I wanted to try to get some more interactions with the videos I post here on the GG Homes page as well as my own page. So I'll cut to the chase. You know, when I was a freshman in college back in 2002, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and like so many of us, it kind of lit the match for me for getting involved in real estate, and really did change my life. And also too, it kind of convinced me I wasn't going crazy, because I had some ideas for money and investing money and you know, obviously financial ideas that no one else seemed to have. And I thought, well, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe this just isn't how things work. And Rich Dad Poor Dad actually convinced me that I was actually on the right track. And that was one of the reasons why I love the book so much, is it kind of filled in gaps in my knowledge that I had already started to learn. And again, it convinced me that I wasn't going crazy and I was on the right track. So anyway, when I was in college, 2003, 2004, I started going to real estate seminars. There was a group in Arizona at that time called AZ PIG, AZ Investment Group, and I started going to those. And really, for 2-3 years that I attended, I didn't do any deals. I was kind of kicking the tires. I was busy with school as well. I had tried wholesaling a few deals, but none of it really worked out, and I kind of thought I had wasted my time going to that group. But ironically, it was the connection that I made at that group that helped me get my first job as a short sale negotiator and working for a small investment firm in Arizona, because what happened is I had gotten on an email list where they would blast out their wholesale deals through that group. And then that group actually blasted out an email looking for short sale negotiators in 2007, and that was how I joined that firm. But my first real estate deal actually came in 2006, a full year before I joined that firm. And what happened is, through college, I was working as a valet at a high-end hotel in Scottsdale, or at least it was a high-end hotel in 2005, 2006. For those of you from Arizona, it was the James Hotel, which later became the Mondrian, which now I think is called the Saguaro, which is actually a really crummy hotel. But back in the day, before Scottsdale kind of took off and really got developed with all these new beautiful nightclubs, this hotel was the hot spot. And a lot of athletes and actors would actually come stay at this hotel, even though it was a Holiday Inn that was just remodeled to be a boutique hotel. So as a college kid, I was making more money as a valet than a valet should ever make. And it was cool seeing a lot of the Phoenix Suns players and whatnot. But the one thing that I noticed working as a valet, 2004, 2005, 2006 in Phoenix, Arizona, obviously when we had that real estate boom, was that anytime someone would come up in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, I would always ask them, I would always say, what do you do for work? What do you do for a living? And assuming they weren't an athlete, the answer was always, oh, I'm a mortgage broker, or I'm in real estate. So I quickly kind of realized that if I wanted a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, real estate was the way to go. And obviously, if you're familiar with the Arizona market at that time, it was absolutely insane. It was crazy, and it was the peak of the bubble. And as a valet, I was really benefiting, because all these real estate agents and mortgage brokers that were killing it were coming in, driving their Ferraris, their Lambos, and spending a lot of money at the hotel and nightclub. So one of the guys was really cool, and every now and then someone would kind of take me under their wing or tell me a little bit more about what they do, but obviously it was way more than I could do at the time, being a college kid with very little money. So one of the individuals, though, had told me, you know what, you can actually get in on this. What I'm doing is I'm buying new builds out in Queen Creek. There's a development out there where they only want a $2,000 deposit to hold a property, and 7 months later, by the time the property is complete, it'll have increased in value by $50,000 to $100,000, because of course that's how much prices were going crazy in Phoenix at that time. And then you'll be able to sell the property, and obviously, by the time you close on it, you'll have equity and you can get a loan, because at that time anybody was going to be able to get a loan. Anybody could, sign, buy here, press hard, you get a loan. So this was about October of 2006. So sure enough, I went up to the subdivision, drove way out to Queen Creek, which, if you know Arizona, is not a great area. It's way, way, way out there. But at that time, everybody wanted to live there because prices were going crazy no matter where in Maricopa County you bought. Actually, I think Queen Creek was Pinal County. But anyway, so sure enough, $255,000, I decided to commit to buying this property in Queen Creek. October 2006, $2,000 down to reserve my spot. Well, by the time springtime of 2007 rolled around, they called me and said, "Hey, are you ready to close on this deal for $255,000?" And I was like, no, because at that time the market had started to turn, and now a lot of those properties were starting to sell for, $200,000, $220,000. So it wasn't quite the bubble was bursting yet, but there were starting to be cracks in the bubble. So I decided to walk away from the deal. I lost my $2,000 deposit, but of course I'm really glad I did, because only about a year or two later, those same houses were selling for $50,000 to $80,000. So I really, really dodged a bullet there, and I might have lost $2,000 on the deal. And I unfortunately caught the tail end of the market. If I was in just a year earlier, maybe my first real estate deal would have been, a $50,000 profit with only a $2,000 investment. But anyway, it was a cool experience, and I'm glad that, it happened. And, in the thick of things, losing only $2,000 was really, I was lucky. So anyway, that's all I got into real estate. So comment below. Tell me about your first real estate deal. Hopefully you actually made a little money on your first deal. And let me know too how you got involved in real estate and how you became a real estate agent or investor. So again, Eric Lukas with GG Homes signing off. Hope everybody is having a great day. Take care.